54 days into the nationwide lockdown, the Home Ministry has announced an extension by another 2 weeks till the 31st of May. However, Lockdown 4.0 will be marked by far more relaxation for economic activities and discretion given to the state governments on various issues. The color coding or the classification of areas based on the number of cases reported of COVID-19 will be done by the respective state government and the district administration in consultation with all the stakeholders. Now, the concept of buffer zones has been introduced along with containment zones. Interstate movement of vehicles has been allowed, but with the consent of the sending and the receiving state. Shops and markets have been allowed to open with staggered timings. No bar on autos and taxis, but again, it is up to the state government to decide. The sale of non-essential items by e-commerce players outside the containment zones will have to be decided by the state administration as well. All right, so those are the details that we're getting of Lockdown 4.0. Far more relaxations that have been given with a view to resume the economic activities as much as possible. The migrant laborers will also find a huge sigh of relief with the interstate movement that has been allowed by the central government. Of course, the two states will have to continue talking to each other. The concept of buffer zone has been introduced, and that is for the district administration to classify certain geographical areas. There is now no cap on the vehicle movement as far as the movement within the city is concerned. And of course, now there is no cap on the number of people who can be there in a workplace. Earlier, there were just about 33% of the employees that could be called. Vinya Deshpande is joining us on the broadcast, getting us all the details from Maharashtra. Pranshu is also with us from Uttar Pradesh to get us a perspective of how the Yogi administration is planning to implement Lockdown 4.0. Vinya, the state of Maharashtra and the MHA guidelines of Lockdown 4.0. How is it going to look like, especially keeping in mind now the state government has the onus of classifying the red, orange and the green zones?
Yes, Anusha, quite some elbow room given to the state governments, and that is why just today afternoon Maharashtra government has decided that the lockdown will continue in Maharashtra all across the state till the 31st of May. Remember, till 4 days ago, the thinking in the government was that the lockdown should continue only in the red zones, the worst affected areas. But considering the spike in the number of cases, we've crossed 33,000 already. Mumbai itself has crossed 20,000 mark today. In consideration of all these things, Maharashtra government has decided that the lockdown will continue in the entire state. And remember, Maharashtra has one of the strictest lockdowns really. So public transport is not plying anywhere in the state. No auto rickshaws, no bus services at the local level. Even in Mumbai, though the state government has requested the centre to start the local train service for at least the essential service providers, even the nod for that has not yet been given. So in metropolitan cities and major areas, public transport continues to remain shut. In red zones and in containment zones across the state, several severe restrictions continue to stay in place. At several places, non-essential services continue to remain shut as well. Anusha.
Vinya Deshpande getting us all the very important details on that story. Arunima is also with us on the broadcast, joining us from the MHA, getting us all the perspective about the new and the fresh guidelines that have come on Lockdown 4.0. Arunima, taking a perspective from you, the biggest takeaway in many ways could be the single unifying factor of decentralization of power, giving more elbow room to the state governments to decide on which strategy work for which areas.
Absolutely. This is something that states like Punjab, Delhi, West Bengal, they have all raised it when the Prime Minister spoke to the state chief ministers. They said that, one size-fits-all strategy will not work because, like Kerala, for example, they managed to flatten the curve and they knew what was best for them. Delhi wanted categorization of red zones ward-wise instead of district-wise. District-wise categorization meant all of Delhi was in red zone. So I think that suggestion from the state has been accepted by the Prime Minister. I think also one of the major contributory factors to that decision, I think, has been the migrant crisis. The way migrants have been moving from state to state, traveling from east to west, south to east, all across the country, crisscrossing. It was not working out, even though MHA was telling states to arrange Shramik trains for them. Railways was offering more trains, but it was just delivering the result that they wanted. Now it has been left to the state. Permission has been given to them to arrange for buses, to arrange for autos, taxis. One just hopes that this decentralization, we will not see the long march home that we're seeing of desperate migrants.
All right. Pranshu Mishra also with us on the broadcast, getting us more perspective as far as the UP administration is concerned. Pranshu, some time ago you were pointing out that for a large state like UP, the key to administer it effectively is to give more autonomy to the district level administration. Of course, with the guidelines of the Home Ministry, the Union Home Ministry and the state government as well. DMs are going to have a far tougher task on their hand to manage the containment zones and also ensure that the green and the orange zones have limited number of cases.
Absolutely. See, that is going to be the case. Even if you remember in lockdown 2 and lockdown 3, ultimately, demarcating the borders of the contaminated zones within a particular district, deciding that whether a district was in red or orange or green zone, that was entirely up to the district magistrate. So that is again going to be the process. But yes, there would be, a detailed communication that would be issued by the Chief Secretary's office, marked to all district magistrates, SPs and commissioners, giving the overall broader frame of what to do and what not to do. And depending on those guidelines, there would be further decision being made by the district magistrate. So what we have been communicated right now is that probably in an hour or two from now, this detailed guidelines from the Chief Secretary's office are most likely to be issued to the district magistrates.
Right. When you're talking about the state of Maharashtra, many districts are in the orange zone. Of course, Mumbai, Pune, these are the cities which are reporting very high number of cases. But partial resumption of public transport, even in the city of Mumbai, especially the rail services, the local train services, is something that the Maharashtra state government was talking about.
And yes, that demand has been put forth to the centre, considering that it's the Central Railways and the Western Railways which ply all the three lines, the Harbour Line, the Central Line as well as the Western Line. This is a request that has been put forth by the Maharashtra government to the centre, requesting them that at least local train services for the persons who come for essential services should be started, because remember, Mumbai is the island city, but the Mumbai metropolitan region is an expansive area, and there are people coming from several other districts to Mumbai to work, including those who provide essential services, and travel for them at this time is quite harrowing. So though the Mumbai Municipal Corporation and the BEST have been running the best bus services for all those persons who come to office for providing essential services, but that is grossly inadequate. Also, it takes much longer for people to commute through buses than the time it would take for them to commute through trains. But that is one request that the railways have not yet accepted from the Maharashtra government.
Arunima, talking about the resumption of economic activities, we have seen that in the last 4 to 5 days, the finance minister has laid out a slew of measures, but all of that would be toothless if you do not have people up and running, if you do not have people going to their workplaces. And that is perhaps the reason that the 33% cap on having the workforce at, in their offices, that has been done away with. This was also a demand of the industry.
Yes, if you go by what the centre guidelines say, if all states accept the centre's guidelines as it is, then 100% the employees can get back to work from tomorrow. What the centre has done is taken away all restrictions. All employees can go back to work as long as
shifts are staggered and social distancing and sanitization norms are followed. All market complexes, shops can open except for malls. All shops can open up. Earlier, it was really restricted to neighborhood and standalone shops. Now all shops can function. Public transport, buses, interstate buses, within states, they can function. Within the state, buses can function. Restrictions on autos, taxis, they have been taken away. So if you accept the centre's guideline as it is, then from tomorrow, you can actually go for a haircut. You can order non-essential and essential on e-commerce websites. You can go shopping to your local market complex. You cannot go to a school, college, cinema, mall. That's the only restriction. But the fact is that each state government will know the best way to handle this COVID crisis. And therefore, one gets a sense that each state government and perhaps each district also will come up with its own notification. One thing that a lot of people have been asking is, will house helps be allowed? The answer is there is no restriction on house helps as far as centre's guideline is concerned. You will have to wait for the state and the local districts to notify. If the RWAs are taking a stance which is against that of the district or the state, you have the power to approach them.
All right, Arunima getting us all the very important details. Pranshu and Vinay also putting all the things into perspective for us. Now, Maharashtra saw the highest single-day rise in the cases today. 2,347 new cases in the last 24 hours, taking the total tally beyond 33,000 in